scientists out there. Are you up for some lazy afternoon wacky science? Well, have you ever wondered, when watching commercials for dishwashing detergents, why all these color effects are happening and how they are made? Well, grab Mom and Dad and let's find out. For this experiment, let's do some housekeeping first. We want to make it safe and fun, because fun without safe is no fun. So, we are going to be using some dyes or colorants. If you're allergic to them, please make sure you put some facial mask, put your gloves on, and wear a good apron to avoid staining your clothes. Also, we will be using some sharp objects, a skewer, a fork, or a toothpick. Use them very carefully and invite Mom and Dad to come and observe you and have fun all together. All right, I know you have a great question. What do we need? Here we go. Get yourself some plate, make sure it's deep enough. You can use a bowl as well. Get yourself some milk. I've chosen today to use full cream milk. Then, a dishwashing liquid of your choice, some food colorants or dyes, and if you don't have any, no panic. You can replace them by poster colors or diluted acrylic or watercolors. Then, get yourself any sort of a dropper. If you don't have it, no problem again. You can get to the kitchen and get yourself some teaspoons, a fork, or a pair of skewers, or even better, some toothpicks. Last but not least, get yourself a couple of cotton buds. All right. First, let's carefully pour some milk. Remember, you can use a deep plate or even a bowl, as long as you have a good volume of milk and a good vision. Next, with each dropper, I'm going to place 2 to 3 drops of every food colorant I have. Make sure you don't use the same dropper for different colors. And I'm gonna make them a bit distant. So here we go. That's my green. That's my orange. Lovely. That's my red. That's my pink. Next, it's time to use my dishwashing liquid. And for that, I'm gonna grab my cotton bud. I'm gonna swap a bit so that once you have the cotton bud above the plate, it's going to drip. See how the patterns are changing? Beautiful. Now it's gonna settle for a while. If you wanna keep it excited, grab yourself that skewer or fork and gently stir it up. In any direction you want, in any style you like. And then let it settle and observe what pattern you're going to have. Right, next, let's use some peppers and washing detergent and water to have more effects. Be careful though, if you are allergic to pepper, make sure you have your facial mask on or use a handkerchief to deal with it. Otherwise, you will be sneezing all night long. All right? So, I've got myself a bowl of water and I filled it enough. Next, I got myself a mixture of both white pepper and black pepper. You can use either if you want. What I'm gonna do, carefully, without sniffing it of course, is sprinkling enough pepper on the surface of the water. And make sure that when you do it, you have evenly distributed the pepper on the water surface. All right? I'm gonna put a bit more of the black pepper. Oh, I can easily smell it now. And you know what? I'm gonna be a bit cheeky and use a bit white pepper on top. All right? Just for more effects. Then, back to our washing liquid again with our cotton bud. I'm gonna have a swap to have enough liquid on the edge of the bud, and then make sure I will have a drip or two. Let's watch what will happen. 3, 2, 1. What just happened? Looks like I had a crack in the water. What happened was, all the pepper surface has ebbed out or ebbed off like a tidal wave that's retreating back to the water. Stay tuned to know what really happened. Last but not least, let's talk about density. Before we talk about it, let's see what we need for it. All you gotta have is a plastic cup or a glass of water, but please do make sure you're too safe dealing with glass. If you want to use a glass, you better be lowered at a level where there is no risk of throwing this or having it splash the water and break. Then we will have some dishwashing liquid again, some earbuds, and here we're going to have either safety pins or paper clips. All right, back to my question. What is density? In short, density is how much matter you can stuff in a fixed volume. In general, if some substance has a density larger than that of water, that substance will sink in water. But if you have another matter with a density lower than that of water, it's going to float. So, here we go. I want to test this safety pin. If I just drop it in water, it's going to sink, which makes me conclude that the density is larger than the density of water. And if I try again to force one of them to float, it's not happening either. So the question that comes next is, can I trick this? I think I can, otherwise, how do we see people floating in water in the swimming pool? So, I'm gonna try to be very careful this time. I'm gonna tread the water very slowly and try to place this such that it remains afloat. Wish me luck. It worked. Next, grab the small container that has your dishwashing liquid and, like we've done before, have a gentle swap with the cotton bud, but this time make sure that the swap isn't dripping. So, and now gently touch the water surface with the swapped bud and observe what will happen. Oh, it's moving away. I think it's annoyed. Let me do it one more time from this side. I'm gonna chase it. It's really annoyed. Ooh, and now it fell. Looks like the action of the cotton bud has disturbed the water surface, so it couldn't hold the safety pin anymore. Right, how about this? You try this at home, but this time with paper clips. All right, fellow scientists, I hope you've enjoyed what we have done today. It will be more enjoyable if you understand why what happened has happened, isn't it? There we go. In the first experiment, we had a surface of milk with some drops of colorants, and once that surface was touched by some washing liquid, all the colors dispersed and had a crazy pattern. In the second experiment, we had a layer of pepper swimming on the surface of water peacefully, but once that surface was touched by, again, the washing liquid, it all ebbed out the way some tidal waves will do after they hit the shore. And in the third one, that poor safety pin was lying peacefully on the surface of the water until, again, some washing liquid touched the surface and disturbed its sleep. So what's actually happening? What was happening before the washing liquid touched the water surface? Think of a wall behind me, or any wall in your house. It's made out of bricks, and those bricks are laid very carefully in a very repeated pattern, and they are very well packed. Now, water is quite similar, because water is made out of so many molecules. We call them water molecules. At the surface, those molecules will hold hands together like this, in what we call attraction forces that keeps them tight together. And this explains that view of the water surface that looks like a sheet of paper if you take a look from the side to any water surface, especially small ones in a glass of water, for example. So now you've got those molecules, hundreds or thousands of them, holding tight together in attraction forces, making the surface look like a sheet or a blanket. And that was the blanket that was holding those drops of water, of food colorants. That was the same sheet that was holding the peppers, and it was the same sheet that held that safety pin on the surface. But the washing liquid has the power to break those attraction forces. So once the surface is touched by a liquid, it's going to disperse those surfaces because the attraction forces will be weakened. And this is actually what makes washing liquids good washing liquids at the end of the day. So basically, all we did was breaking those attraction forces by approaching the surface with something stronger, namely a washing liquid. And this idea of having the molecules tied together at the surface is what we refer to as surface tension. All right, fellas, thank you so much for being with us today. I hope you had fun and learned something new. All right, it's not over yet. This is where it's gonna start. What I would like you to do is a couple of things. First, try every experiment we had today at home. Of course, with mom and dad supervising you and having fun with you. Try it with varieties of things, not only the substances we used today. Then, take a picture of your trials and paste it down with the hashtag you see at the bottom. Also, and that's the second thing I would love you to do, type your questions or comments, and I'll be so happy to answer them next week when we meet again. So long!